Thank you to Christopher Arnold for these 4 suggestions. Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and I'm back with another preview and prediction video. Today I'll be doing the Ole Miss Rebels. Last season the Rebels went 10-3, 6-2 in the SEC with one losing streak. That losing streak being to Baylor. They lost during the season at Alabama and at Auburn to pretty much be defeated in the state of Alabama. Now, what did we learn from last season? Well, before 2020, pretty good for Lane Kiffin as a new head coach. 2019, they got rid of Matt Luke. Yeah, it was either 2019 or 2018. Anyways, they got rid of Matt Luke, and he went to Georgia. He did his thing. Now he's semi-retired because of personal reasons, but he'll be, I hope for the best for him. Everything like that. Now, let's see what they're working with this season. They have been one of the top recipients in the transfer portal. They got transfers all over the place. Wide receiver Jalen Robinson from UCF by the way of Oklahoma. They have Malik Heath from Mississippi State. They got Michael Trigg from USC. Zach Evans from TCU. USC Bentley from SMU. Jackson Dart from USC. Ishmael Young from Iowa State. You get my point. So, how is that going to impact their team? Well, with all these transfers in, you got to think about how they're going to how their cohesion is going to work. If they're able to have good cohesion and chemistry is fine, and Lane Kiffin gets their guys going fine, they're going to be one of the best teams in college football. But if they start out slow, get a few losses under their belt, it's not going to matter how they are at the end of the season. But we'll just have to see. They're working with 3 good wide receivers, Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Robinson, Danis Jackson, or Malik Heath, depending on what you're going to do. They also have transferred Jalen Knox from Missouri and Jordan Watkins from Louisville. So that can help them a good bit. The offensive line, they have Richard Jr., Jeremy James, senior Nick Broker, going to be the cornerstone of the offensive line, Richard Jr., Caleb Warren, Richard sophomore Eli Aker, senior transfer Mason Brooks from Western Kentucky. So, their offense should be fine. They're most likely starting Jackson Dart with Zach Evans, USC Bentley, Michael Trigg. They are loaded. Defensively, senior transfer Tavius Robinson from ULF, I guess, I don't know. Redshirt senior KD Hill, junior transfer Isaiah Eaton, junior Cedric Johnson, senior transfer Troy Brown, and a bunch of others, including senior A.J. Finley, Otis Reese, who's a transfer from Georgia, Ishmael Young, Miles Battle, and Tysheem Johnson. Talent is not the issue. They also have junior transfer J.J. Plagas, who could get some playing time this year. He went from tight end to defensive tackle when transferring from Auburn to Ole Miss. So, we will see how they do. They should have no problem with talent. So, let's look at their recruiting average. This may surprise people, but the average recruiting for Ole Miss over the past 5 years is 20. They are 24th right now this year. They were 17th in 2021, 34th in 2020, 22nd in 2019, and 32nd in 2018. So, the talent is at Ole Miss. However, it's not very highly recruited talent. Most of their highly recruited people are from the transfer portal. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's check out their schedule. Weeks 1 through 4 should not be that much of a problem. They have Troy at home, Central Arkansas at home. They do have to go on the road at Georgia Tech. However, I think you're miles ahead of Georgia Tech, and then they have Tulsa at home. That should be 4-0 right off the bat. Then you have Kentucky at home. This is going to be the biggest game right now that's to look forward to. Good thing you have those first 4 weeks to get Jackson Dart and the guys ready and cohesed and everything like that. So, at this point in the season, I think that with Kentucky coming to Oxford, I think you get the win against Kentucky. So you're 5-0 going into the game at Vanderbilt. You will beat them easily. They're not a team that's going to be any kind of competitive. So 6-0. Then you have Auburn. This 3-game stretch is going to be very difficult for Ole Miss. Last year they had a stretch like this, and Matt Corral played injured through a lot of it. Now that you have Jackson Dart, he's not going to be running as much as Matt Corral did, I don't think. He's going to be a good quarterback, however, I don't think he's going to be running as much. So I do think you beat Auburn. You go on the road to LSU. If this was last year, the year before last, if this was last year, it'd be a difficult team. I think you get the win in Baton Rouge. Here's the big one. At Texas A&M, they have quarterback problems of their own. I think they will be playing Max Johnson at this time. I think Haynes King has overstayed his welcome at this point. Maybe Haynes King gets on the right foot, but I think you win. I think that you come into College Station and shatter Texas A&M's dreams, because at this point I think they have 1 or 2 losses in my rankings. So I think that at this point you are 9-0 going into your bye week. You are most likely top 5 to top 3 in the country. Then's the biggest game that Lane Kiffin has probably been looking towards. I would not be surprised if you do drop a game before, just because Lane Kiffin, he's going to be looking towards this Alabama game. He wants to beat Bama so bad, and Nick Saban wants nothing else but to beat Ole Miss. I think you lose. I think you take your first loss. I think it's going to be closer than last year, something like the 2020 game. I think Lane Kiffin's going to go back to the drawing board, have a lot of tricks up his sleeve for Saban. But I think you get the unlucky stick in the basket, and you end up losing your first game. So you're 9-1 going into the game against Arkansas in Fayetteville. This is going to be Arkansas's Super Bowl at this point, with nothing else to play for. After they've beaten Alabama and lost a few, I think that Arkansas beats you in Fayetteville. It says not biased towards Sam Pittman or anything. I just think that at this point, coming off a brutal loss to Alabama, I think that you lose again. Lane Kiffin, 30 years as head coach, this happens sometimes where you come out sluggish. So I think you are now 9-2 going into your rivalry game in the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. And I think you win there. Finishing the season with 10 wins once again. Second 10-win season in a row for Lane Kiffin. That's going to be good for the boosters, good for the university, good for everything. And at this point, you are still in the running for the SEC championship. Alabama, I have them with 1 loss right now. No, never mind. I've already done an Alabama preview prediction. They're 11-1. So, you will definitely go to a high bowl game, maybe even a New Year's Six bowl. So, thank you all so much for listening to me ramble about college football. Thank you all for the continued support. Let me know suggestions down below about a team to do. I'm trying to make it all of the Power 5, get them done by week 0. So if you'd like me to do a specific team, I would gladly do a team that you suggest. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Go Dogs.